Hello, welcome back to the Chilled Society. I am Hannah.
I'm Katie.
And we have a special guest that we weren't supposed to have today, but now he's here.
Yeah.
It's Sean.
Care to say hi?
Hello.
Great.
Perfect.
Glad you could be here.
Of course.
Katie and I both have G Fuels. I can't talk. I made you
Something
Kiwi
free.
Mango. And Katie made me Blue Bomber Slushy, which is the Mega Man flavor. And it's very good. What? Sean has water.
You have a G Fuel thingy?
Yeah, with no caffeine.
Yeah. There's no caffeine in that.
You're not allowed to have caffeine.
Right.
You get a little wacky. We've experienced that. We don't want it again.
So, you know how last time we were supposed to do that episode about, like, college and, like, stories from school and stuff like that? We're finally gonna do that now.
Yeah, we're doing it.
It's finally happening. I don't know the best way to go about this. I just want to put that out there.
Some stuff happened.
That's for sure. Some stuff did indeed happen. Sorry, this page is very weird. I'm looking at, like, J-pop for some reason, and, like, the girls, I don't know how to explain it. You'll see. They are indeed shirtless.
What?
I don't know why, but they are.
You know, before we start episodes, normally we're listening to music and whatnot, which we did today.
Yes.
But you're on some weird stuff.
Well, I'm on J-pop.
I didn't see that. I just saw feathers.
She wasn't wearing a shirt. You couldn't see any, like, inappropriate parts or anything, but she was not wearing a shirt. And, like, all the photos for their one subunit looked like that. It was very strange. I don't know.
A concept.
Yeah. Yeah. What was I gonna say? I don't remember.
That's okay.
It's gone. Okay, so college, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am in a weird spot right now with talking today because I've already done so much of it. Katie and Sean have been here since like 5 and it's 8:43. So I've successfully kidnapped them for like 5 hours probably by the time we get done with this. So we've all just kind of been going and just going since we've been here. Words are hard. College. Would you like to talk about college, Katie?
I can, yeah.
Okay.
It occurred
Send it.
for a bit.
You're right.
So, do you know how on Facebook you have memories pop up each year? Okay. So I've had that occurring, like I so often do. And my memories from the past couple days was I moved into college like 5 years ago. And then I was posting updates once a day. And the updates was I was sick one day. And then the next day, I think it was today, I posted an update 5 years ago that my roommate was Japanese. Which, okay, the story of... So I moved in a week early to college because I was part of the Century Media program. Because we're special. So we were on campus a week early because we could be. And I lived technically on campus but off campus. The school bought an old hotel that was off campus and transformed that into dorms, and I lived in that. So it was off campus, and because I moved in early, there weren't that many other students there yet. And it was like the second day I was there, and I got so sick.
Oh no.
I was like the flu type of sick, and I was dying in my dorm room.
Oh.
And so I had texted this girl that I had met the day before.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey, not gonna show up to the program. Also, can you bring me meds? And she was like, I'm at the program. No, I will not bring your meds. And I was like,
Great.
That's chill. That's fine. I will just die here. So I just remember getting my laptop,
Yes.
putting it on the floor, playing my music playlist, which also had some Dan and Phil in there.
Great.
Yeah, I don't know. And just laying on the floor and just passing out. Not passing out, but I fell asleep for hours.
Good.
No meds, no nothing.
I feel that,
just
honestly.
there.
I'm glad you just decided, yep, sleep is the time. Sleep is the thing right
Yeah,
now.
not
Just
even
why
on my
not?
bed. Just floor. I'm glad
That's
my
fine.
roommate wasn't there yet. But yeah, so got an update, or whatever, from Facebook today, that I had updated my roommate was Japanese. And then I was just like, I remember this occurring, because I was still slightly sick. Not slightly, I was still sick.
I'm
Not
sorry.
as bad, I was no longer on the floor.
That's good at least.
Yeah, it would have been weird had she walked in and I was on the floor. But I was sick on my bed, and somebody had knocked, and I was like, I'm not going to answer that, I do not care. And then a dude opened the door, and I was just like, okay, I should probably go to the door, see what's going on. And he opened the door, and I was like, hey, what's up? And he was like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know anybody was here. And I was just like, yeah, no, that's fine, I didn't answer you. And it was just two Japanese girls standing behind him, and I don't remember who else was there, but there was somebody else behind him.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is weird. What's up? And he was like, this is your roommate. And I was just like, this is the time to meet my roommate. Okay. This is good. I was like, hey, how are you? Sorry, I'm a mess. Welcome to the room.
I definitely did not sleep on the floor.
It was so hectic. And she was like, she looked kind of nervous that I was just there.
Aw.
Because I'm sure for the other people that he had taken to their rooms, nobody was there. 'Cause,
yeah.
no one else had programs. So she did not expect to have someone in her dorm yet.
Rip.
But I'm just there.
Aw.
Just hey, what up?
Sup, I've contaminated the entire apartment.
And the thing about my dorm for my freshman year
Mm-hmm.
is it was bigger than all of the other dorms.
Oh. Sweet.
Because I was on the first floor of what was the old hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And we had the wheelchair accessible rooms.
Oh. Dang.
Yeah, I don't know why I was put there. But yeah, so we had just bigger rooms. And I don't know who he was. The person in charge of the first two floors. See something? What the hell was his title?
The RA?
Overseer?
He wasn't called an RA. It was a C something, though.
I don't know.
CX? I don't know. Doesn't matter now. When he came to do his first check to make sure everything was alright, when he walked into the room, he's like, oh, you guys got a big room. And my roommate was just like, okay. I was just like, did we?
Aw.
And I was just like, okay. Another fun story
Yes.
is about my roommate, which my roommate was so great. I loved her. She was wonderful. I'm glad I got a Japanese roommate. But when I would just randomly, when I would come back from classes or whatnot, I would come into the room and she'd be at her desk, and our desks were sat next to each other. I would never use mine, normally. But she would just be sat at her desk, just with the entire box of Frosted Flakes, the bag out of it on top of the box, with a spoon, just eating dry Frosted Flakes.
I love that for her.
And I'm like, okay.
You know what? I feel
All right.
that. I feel that, honestly.
The only thing I did not like about having her as a roommate, which I'm sure it's not because she's from Japan and I'm from here, I'm just accustomed to it. She said our air is dry, and I was just like, what? Okay. That's weird. But every time I would leave the room for, like, a couple hours, she would turn the AC, like, to really high temperatures. Or, like, just completely turn it off, and I'd be like, there's no air in here now. Can you please...
The air has been sucked out.
Can you please stop doing that? Because I'd like it to be, you know, not like that on a hot day.
Yeah.
And she's like, no. So every time she would leave, I'd turn it back down. So it would just be a constant thing of whenever one of us would leave, the other would turn it up or down.
Oh, no.
I'd put a lock on that son of a bitch.
And the thing is the way our room was set up is I was closest to the AC in the window, and she was closer to the door in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
So we both had to, like, cross paths to get to something.
Good.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
So I was thinking about this the other day because, unfortunately, we're coming up on the 4-year anniversary of me going to my first college. Boo. Are we just doing good stories, or are we doing bad stories too?
All the stories.
Because I've got so many stories.
Yeah.
College.
You know I have so many. So I got a request to join this group, and it was the college name Class of 2022. And it was a group on Facebook, and I was like, oh, like, yeah, I'll gladly join that. And so it asked for my email for some reason, but whatever. I was like, oh, they'll probably send us, like, the campus newsletter early or something like that. So it's me and, like, 60 other kids, probably, and we all ended up becoming, like, friends, and, like, adding each other on Snapchat, following each other on Instagram, everything. And this is how I met my roommate as well. And we were all
shaking the table.
We were all in this little group together, and an admin from the university ends up in the group, and he goes, hey, we didn't make this group. Like, this is the link to the official one. I don't know who these people are, why they picked our school, and how they got 60 of you to join, but this is not the official group. So we ended up moving to the other, actual, real, official group. And that's how I met my roommate. Because one of the girls was like, isn't it weird that they haven't posted anything for us to, like, introduce ourselves and stuff? And we were all like, yeah, that is kind of weird. So we all started making our own posts, like, hey, what's everyone's Snapchat? What's everyone's Instagram? Like, and someone was like, list some of your interests. Maybe we'll all find friends or a roommate or something if we don't have our roommate picked. And that's how I met my roommate.
Nice.
Said school for the freshman dorms also had, like, every wing on every floor was themed. And I think I was on the 3rd floor. I think that's the floor we were on. And we both wanted the, like, music, arts, reading, whatever wing. And so we ended up in that wing, directly across the hall, because they were, like, I don't know how to explain it other than there was a little gap between each room. So it wasn't, like, straight across, but it was, like, across at a very slight diagonal was her boyfriend, and at the time, and his roommate. And then on the other side of that were these 2 kids that were in band classes with me. And then, like, 7 dorms down was my friend that had also come from this town. He ended up in the same wing as us. So we were all in this little, like, group together, and we would all sit outside and, like, have bowls of, like, ramen and stuff, and we'd be sitting out there, and the RA was like, hey, what are you guys doing? Are you all locked out? We were like, no, we're just congregating. She was like, okay, just don't cause any problems. We never did. We just kind of sat there.
That's good.
Those are, like, the only 2 good stories I have.
Oh, that is sad.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it terrible? I hated that place with a burning passion. Well, okay. Those aren't the only 2 good stories I have, but, like, they're very few and far between. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I do have one story, but I'm gonna be a huge disappointment if I say it, so I can't. I mean, I can, but, like, I'll be a disappointment.
Huh.
Do we think I can get in trouble for it? It's been 4 years.
Probably.
Well, you're the one going for criminal justice.
Oh, another fun thing. Sean started college today.
Woo! Yeah, Sean. I don't know. Can I get in trouble for something I've done in the past that I'm talking about now?
Depends on the statute of limitations.
That doesn't help me.
Let's see, is it murder?
No. No.
Maybe not.
Well,
No, you can talk about it. It doesn't matter.
Hold on.
I think you'll be okay.
I went to a frat party.
Mm-hmm.
I was 18, went to a frat party because one of my friends, who you also know,
Mm-hmm.
was in a sorority. And, okay, sorry. Okay, wait, the statute said that the police have 2 years to bring charges, so we're good. I'm good to talk about this frat party I went to. It's been 4 years at this point. There's a very iconic photo on my Twitter from that night where I am on the floor of our dorm bathroom, and the caption just says, "Thank God for handicap bars." And that's it. So that should tell you the state of mind I was in that night. Mom, if you're listening, you thought I didn't drink until I was 21. I'm so sorry.
I know that's a lie.
However, I only drank out of my friend's bottle, so it was good. I didn't take drinks from anyone else. I watched a bunch of sorority girls dance on a table. There were a lot of flashing lights. Someone threw up outside. It was an experience. It was a good time.
I have some stories. Yes, continue.
Oh, boy.
And the day after the party, I didn't get back. I got back at like midnight. And I did not call off because of the party or because of what I'm about to say. I had to call off no matter what because they did not listen to my schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a concert for band the next day
Mm.
at like 7 p.m. And I was supposed to work 4 to midnight. So I had to call off. And so when I got up in the morning, we had to take a drive, like a 3.5, 4-hour drive to Herkimer, New York.
Why not?
Herkimer. And
That's not a real place.
it's because my roommate had to get money to get a new car because hers broke down on the side of the highway on the way back from a drag show.
Great. Great.
And we took my car, which was my shitty little 2009 Chevy Malibu. The one that had all the electrical problems and the trunk would just pop open randomly. Yeah. Yep. We had to take that crappy little car all the way to Herkimer, New York. So that's my party story that I'm finally getting out.
I have a couple party stories.
I'm ready.
But I have to have a bit of context for this.
Okay.
Because somebody involved in the party story, one of them, I had met previously.
Okay.
I had met this man at orientation. And I didn't realize. So at orientation for college,
Yes.
I sat with 2 people. Well, we had our families or whatnot with us, but I sat with 2 guys. I don't remember the one guy's name now, but he's the one that was involved in the party. The party story. But so I sat with this guy that was with, I think, his mom. And I sat with another guy that was involved in Century Media. I didn't realize that until later when I got to Century Media program. The fun story about the 2 guys I sat with, is the one guy and Justin Clarissa, my brother and his wife, asked the one guy, he was there with his girlfriend and his mom, we did not know this at the time, asked the one guy if that was his sister, and I was sitting there like, you know what, you probably shouldn't ask people anything, ever.
Just stop
Just-
talking.
I was like legit just like, I don't know you, man. Just like don't. Just don't. And the guy that was in Century Media was like, no, this is my girlfriend. Like, been together a couple years. And his mom was just like, yeah, they're gonna get married eventually, probably. And like all this stuff.
No.
And the one dude was just like, oh, that's chill. That's cool. That's it. That was for orientation. So, the guy that had asked the other guy about his girlfriend, couple months into freshman year,
Yes.
my RA, whatever, asked the first 2 floors if we wanted to go to a club. And we were like, what? Second floor, actually the second floor immediately was just like, heck yeah, let's go. Because they were the party floor.
Great.
The first floor, we never really talked to anybody. We kept our doors shut, didn't talk to anybody. Second floor, doors always open, they were always talking to each other. So, I was really just like, what? A club? What are you talking about? I'm 18. And he proceeded to go, no, it's a gay club, and it's 18 and up. And I was like, I'm bi, heck yeah, let's go. My friend drove. There was 5 of us in the car, so it was packed. Because she had a really tiny car.
Oh no. That's the worst.
And then we got down the road, and she's like, I need gas. And we were like, okay. Alright. So we pulled up to the gas station. One of us in the back, I was in the back, with 2 dudes.
Yes.
And then I looked at one of the dudes. She got out to pump gas. I looked over at one of the dudes, and I was like, do I know you from somewhere? And he just looks at me, and he goes, orientation! And I was just like, wait, you were the guy from orientation? And he's like, yeah! I remember I asked that guy about his girlfriend. And I was like, I was like, you're that guy. You're that one. And he was like, yeah, I was that guy. How have you been? And I was like, we're not friends, but like, I'm good. Like, what? We're not friends. I don't really know you. It was weird. We proceeded to go to the club. It was fine. My friend, what you need to know is, I was friends with 2 of the girls that went.
Okay.
The girl that drove, and the other girl was in the other car
Okay.
with the RA. I stuck with those 2 for the majority of the time we were there. At one point in the night, the one girl that was with the RA walked away to dance with somebody. I was like, cool, I'm gonna just vibe by myself. I don't really care. What up? Gay club. And she comes back to me fully hammered.
Huh.
And I was like,
Huh.
girl, it's been 20 minutes.
Miss Girl.
The thing about this is I was in charge of a news program at the Century Media.
Yes.
I was a producer. I was her boss. We had a news program the next morning. This girl, fully hammered, I knew she was not going to show up on time.
Yeah.
And I was just like, girl, what the heck? I still proceeded to enjoy my night. But I was just like, hey, hon, you should probably not drink anymore. And she's like, what? I'm fine, Katie. What up? I was like, no, you ain't.
No.
You about to be on your face. Please stand up. Like,
me the night of my 21st birthday party.
She went back to the bar, which there were 2 separate bars. Went back to the back bar, came back to me again with another glass, and I was like, how did you get another glass? You're 18. And she's like, oh, this guy bought it for me. And I was like, girl.
I love the dancing that goes with it. Like, he bought it for me.
Exactly like this. In a packed club, just dancing up to me like, he bought it for me. And I was like, what? Okay. What? And I was like, no. Just her downing it.
Great.
And then she's like, we should go up to the, like, they had a bar you could dance on, like a stage, a platform, if you will. And she's like, we should go to the platform. And I was like, no, we shouldn't. No.
No.
We really shouldn't. And she's like, no, let's go. And she dragged me to the platform. I was like, what are you doing? At this point in time, the RA, we had been there a couple hours.
Yes.
The RA was like, we should probably get going. It was like 1 in the morning. He was like, we should probably get going. And I was just like, yeah, we should probably get going before you fall on your face.
Oh, no.
She was in heels, like,
Oh, God.
yeah.
Oh, God.
She got dragged to the car. I was like, thank you. Thank you. The next morning, I had to be there early because I was in charge of the news program. She showed up half an hour late. Still off it.
Oh.
And she still had to write her stories because I was not going to do it for her.
Oh,
I
God.
was just like, hey, hon, drink some water, get at it.
Oh.
It's fine because the other anchor showed up even later than her.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Now the other party story. Oh, by the way, Mr. Mans sat next to me on the way home from orientation. You know Mr. Mans? I don't remember his name at all. I really don't. I know the other one because from Century Media, but I don't remember this guy. He sat next to me on the way home, and he goes, that was pretty fun. That was pretty great. Yeah. See you around sometime? And I was like, no, probably not. Not at all, dude.
What the hell?
Yeah, I don't know, man. So, the other party story happened the first week I was there, during Century Media.
Of course.
Yeah, it was the night of the bonfire, which happened the last night, which we played Capture the Flag, did a bonfire, and then they ended the Capture the Flag game early because it was the Game of Thrones finale.
Great.
Yeah.
Priorities.
Yeah. So the team leaders were just like, Game of Thrones. And I was just like,
Okay.
okay. They're like, you want to come? You want to come? I was like, I guess. Never watched it, but okay. So it was all of the team leaders. So like everyone, so people in charge of graphics, like writing the sports section, like video, photos for Century Media. All of those people, and then just whoever they invited back, because it was at a girl's apartment on campus.
Sweet.
Yeah. So whoever they invited back. So there was about 10, 12 of us at this girl's apartment, which she was super nice. But she was like, it's bring your own bottle, and we're watching Game of Thrones. And I was just like, I'm gonna just vibe at your apartment. She's like, cool. And then I proceeded to be like, I'll be right back. I went, grabbed a bottle of chocolate milk.
Good. I support it.
Came back, and then everyone was getting drunk. Just out of it. Watching Game of Thrones. People were screaming. People were crying. And I was just vibing in the corner. At one point in time, no. Okay. Game of Thrones ended.
Yes.
People were still screaming and crying.
Yep.
And then after that, they wanted to play Jenga, but it was drunk Jenga.
Oh god, not drunk Jenga.
Yeah, so we played that. Really weird. One girl ended up vomiting on her bathroom floor.
Oh.
But she got so out of it.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was still vibing in the corner with chocolate milk.
Good.
I was just like, this is fun. There was a guy that was in charge of the news, like all of news, and he was just like, what are you doing? I was just like, chocolate milk. He goes, you know, it's a solid choice. I was like, heck yeah, it is.
What are you doing? Chocolate milk?
Yeah. I was just like vibing on her bar stool, just like, this is fine. Like people were just gone.
I only ever went to one party while I was in college, and I talked about it already, so.
Super fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
I learned a lot about people at those parties.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, those parties.
I also learned, just sitting in the Central Media room, so much I didn't need to know.
Yeah.
I learned one guy, the first time he got high, solved the world problems.
Great.
Yeah.
Good for him.
And I was just like,
you know what? Good
dude.
for him.
And then, like, the next week, he was not in Century Media anymore. I was
Huh.
like, dude, what was on?
Oh god. Okay, do we want to get to the... I don't know what to do. Okay. So... this college is the reason I have PTSD. It's one of the reasons. Which, straight up, I was driving to the orthodontist today, and the way it had me go was, like, the way I used to go to this college, like, a little bit. It makes more sense if I can explain it using, names and stuff, but I can't. And I started panicking. And I was like, Hannah, it's fine. You just have to go 2 miles, and then you get off the exit. You're not going there. You're not going to that college. And I was like, the whole time.
Yeah.
4 years later, still affects me. Trauma. I was forced to take an 8 a.m. class that semester. I did not take an 8 a.m. class ever again. Okay, so none of us liked this professor, right? Well, some people did. She was a bitch. Like, straight up. She hated me. I don't know why. Like, I practiced. It was a piano class, right? I practiced. I did my homework. Most of it, anyway. I might have forgotten one assignment here and there, but I did it. And I tried, right? And she was one of the 2 professors that bullied me so bad that I just stopped. I skipped, like, 2 of her classes at the end of the semester because I was like, I don't want to deal with you. Like, I just can't handle it. So, I went to my final, right? And I start playing. I had practiced the entire week leading up to it. I had practiced for, like, 2 hours the day of my final. The kid that went there that I was friends with, that's from our town, him and I had both consulted this one senior that we had made friends with, and she helped me a little bit. So I go into this final. I'm like, alright, let's do this. I sit down. I play like 5 notes, and she goes, stop. And I was like, huh? What? Why am I stopping? She was like, you didn't study. You didn't study for this, I can tell. And I was like, but I did. I literally did. I did study for this. And she was like, no you didn't. Come back later. That was my last final at that school. I was supposed to leave when I got done with that, with my piano final. So she made me wait for another, like, 5 hours. I took that final at, I think, 8 a.m. She made me wait until, like, 1. I went back. She was like, are you ready this time? And I was like, yes, I am, you bitch. And I sat down. I start playing. I get through the first song. Start playing the second song. And she goes, stop. And I was like, sweet. What is it about this time? And she was like, you didn't practice. You didn't take any of the advice I gave you. And then she went, what are you doing after this semester, Hannah? And her fake, I am actually an old granny, so you need to be sorry for me voice. I wanted to punch her in the face. She was like, what do you plan on doing after this semester? And I was like, I'm actually leaving. I'm not going to be here anymore. And she goes, good. Because I would have recommended you leave the music program. And I wanted to just jump over and throttle her right there. I was like, no! Stop it! You're so mean! Yeah. She's one of the 2 reasons why I don't play clarinet anymore. Yay, college. I hope you have a better experience than I did, Sean. Hopefully you don't have any professors that tell you suck and you're not worthy. My main professor for clarinet, I ended up missing one of the seniors' recitals because I had to work. And the other clarinet freshman also had to miss because she had to work. So in my one-on-one lesson, the professor was like, Hannah, why did you miss the recital? They were counting on you to come. Like, fully gaslighting me, guilt-tripping me, everything. And I was like, I have to make money, man. I had to go to work. And he was like, you can quit your job. You can't quit the career you're making right now. And I was like, shut the fuck up. Shut the hell up, old man. I was like, I do not give a shit what you say. Because I had vaguely respected him at that point. Like, I was like, yeah, he's my senior. Like, I'm going to listen to what he says, even though he's, like, making me relearn everything I've learned the last 10 years I've played clarinet, you know, all that. He told me basically everything I learned was wrong. And once he said that, I was like, I've lost all respect for you. I will punch you right now. I will do it. Don't test me. And he wanted me to quit the job that I'm still at today. He was like, quit. Like, this is way more important than your job. Like, no. No, it's not. And guess what? I'm still here. I'm still at that job. I want to go back there one day and just walk into his office and be like, fuck you. I graduated, bitch. And then leave. Guess what? I got a minor in music. That's like the short of it, because I can't really say a lot without, you know, revealing where I went to school. And like, part of me wants to, because I want to tell everyone to not go there, because it's a worthless school and it doesn't deserve to exist. But I'm going to try to hold the higher ground here, even though I hate it. Also, I was the one that led the transfer situation. After I left, every single person I had made friends with either dropped out or transferred. Every single one. It was all because of the professors, the school in general, the way they were treating people. Every single person I made friends with dropped out or transferred. Like, we all know where I went. My roommate transferred to a school in her home state. She's not from PA. Her then boyfriend dropped out completely. I had multiple friends drop out, and then the kid that I was friends with that was from this town is allegedly going back to school. I don't know, because I'm not friends with him anymore. But allegedly he's also going back to school, so, you know.
Fun thing about, like, dropping out and whatnot, my first week of, like, actual college, freshman year, my friend that I had made there, which I've mentioned, Gage, he straight up was just like, I hate this school. I hate it. I would transfer I would transfer, but I've already put too much time into this place and it was too much paperwork.
Oh my god.
Because he was already in his sophomore year and he was just like, I don't, it's too much work to transfer.
That's why I got lucky with when I transferred, because I just, like, I could have, if I didn't absolutely hate it and hate being there, I could have made it through the spring semester, because the kid that we knew ended up going through his freshman year there and then ended up leaving. If I didn't hate my absolute life there, I probably could have made it through a full year and then transferred, but this doesn't really reveal anything about our general area. It's just PA colleges, so I'm just gonna say it. Me, that person that's from our town, and their best friend, who is also one of my good friends, she went to a school that was like 40 minutes away from us. She spent more time at our school than she did at hers. Literally, by the end of September, all three of us were sitting in his dorm, and we were like, okay, what are the best schools to transfer to for the degrees we want? Like, not even halfway through the year, we were like, we're sick of this place, we're getting the hell out. And now here we are. Where did we look? If I wouldn't have gotten lucky with my education and everything, I probably would have ended up going to either Indiana University or Slippery Rock. I probably would have went to one of those two. RMU was in the equation.
It's a good school.
I can cut that out. I didn't even think about that.
It's fine.
You don't go there anymore, so.
No.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned where I got my degree from anyway on here, so.
Yeah. Yeah, you can leave it in. I don't give a fuck.
Okay. Does that mean I can name and shame my school then?
Yeah.
Fuck Mansfield. Okay, I got that
Okay.
out. I fucking hate Mansfield.
No, the thing about I'll say it. I don't care. Thing about RMU is the only thing I didn't like is they didn't have a good counseling program. That's why I dropped out.
Yes.
Is because I was going through a lot, and they just were not supporting me at all.
Yeah. And, sorry, this is going back to the revealing thing.
Mm.
It's honestly kind of inescapable considering what we want to do
Yeah.
together. It's kind of inescapable that people are going to learn where we live eventually. So, I think it's probably fine if we mention the schools that we considered or did end up going to.
I am kind of nostalgic now about RMU because in the Century Media wing, we had an entire wing. It was great.
Aw.
Right outside of the main office and outside of the radio booth, there was this little area with tables and chairs that you could sit at. And I remember having so many conversations with my friends there.
Aw.
Like, so many good conversations with Gage and, like, my roommates that I had for my sophomore year. Like, it was so nice and, like, so deep. I just missed those, just sitting there and having those conversations. Like, me and Gage had so many conversations about what we wanted to do for the future and, like, where we wanted to end up. And, like, I missed that.
Aw.
That's, like, the only thing I miss from that school. Like, besides, like, the Century Media program, because you can get an education anywhere.
Yeah.
But, like, the Century Media program taught me a lot. And everyone involved taught me a lot.
There are three things.
Be my solitaire.
Great. Sean's just playing solitaire. There are technically three things, that I do miss about Mansfield. Shocker, I know, I do actually miss something from it. One, the dining hall was actually pretty good.
Oh, we had great Alfredo on Wednesdays.
They had burritos. You could build your own burrito. The pizza, as long as you got it, like, decently fresh, was pretty good. Like, I do kind of miss the dining hall.
Yeah, the cafeteria was so good, because we had different, like, there was the main cafeteria, and then there was the second floor cafeteria?
That's what we had, too.
Yeah, the second floor cafeteria, where there was, like, many different sections, where there was a health section, and then there was, like, I think, oh my god, what was there? I didn't really go to any of the other sections, because on Wednesdays there was the build your own pasta, which I went and got Alfredo.
Ooh.
Or I went to, like, the health section. Those were the two sections I went to. Or in my dorm, the old hotel, you know? Which my dorm was Yorktown, because RMU was Robert Morris.
Yeah.
It's based around history. We had a cafeteria, which I would eat dinner there. I had pretty good food there.
Sorry, I was looking. I actually looked up the dining hall. They've added new, like, things up there since I've left. Which, I mean, it's been 4 years. That's kind of expected.
They're like, finally, the scoundrel's gone.
Finally, that bitch graduated college. Sorry, this is very off topic. One of the kids that I, like, kind of mentored in band when I was still in high school, came up to me, I think her junior year, and she was like, I think I might go there. And I was like, no! I was like, no, you're not. No, you're not. I was like, please go to the other school that you're considering. Like, I can't let you go there in good conscience. And she did not go there. And, like, it sucks because I have friends that have had good experiences there. We know someone that has had a very good experience there. But it did not work for me.
Right.
It was terrible. I think if I would have gone in the vocal program, I would have had a lot more luck. I really do. which kind of ties into the second thing I miss. There was one music professor that was very, very sweet. I really liked her a lot. She was our music theory professor. I didn't mind the band director either. He could be kind of an asshole sometimes, but he wasn't terrible by any means. He was pretty cool. And so he kind of falls under this umbrella. But she was just such a sweetheart, and like when I was struggling, she was like, "Come talk to me. Like, I will literally block out time for you so we can talk." And I was like, "You're a lifesaver, Cheryl. Thank you." So I went to see her, and like I actually did pretty good in my music theory classes. And not the best, of course, but I did decent. Especially for someone who didn't really have like the biggest music theory background. Like, obviously, I know all the basic stuff and like all that, but I didn't know about like how to make chords and stuff like that because I didn't know piano. So I was just a clarinet player, man. And then I miss my roommate.
Mm-hmm.
She was pretty cool.
I also miss my roommate.
I miss the little squad that we had in the hallway there. It was nice. It was really nice. I don't talk to, like, I actually don't talk to any of them anymore. Like, I'm still friends with a majority of them on social media and stuff, but we don't really talk to each other or anything.
I feel, sorry, are you?
No, yeah, I'm done.
Okay. I feel bad for my freshman year roommate because I was not a very social person at all. And we didn't really talk that much when we were roommates. I remember one specific night, I was sitting at my desk and she came in, and it was around like 8 o'clock when she came in, and she sat at her desk, and I had just bought, what was it? Oh, it was right around Valentine's Day, because I remember in one of the cafeterias, because there was like a small one in one of the buildings, they had put out some Valentine's Day like baskets, so I had bought one of the baskets for myself. And I just remember like offering her some like chocolates, and I was like, "Hey, do you want some of these?" And she was like, "Oh, sure." And so she took some, and we had like a really good conversation that night because of that. And I feel so bad that I didn't like offer a conversation before.
Yeah.
But like we had some really good conversations after that, and I hope she's doing well.
Aw.
Like, she was a really sweet person.
Aw.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
I have another story.
Oh, go for it, because I'm still thinking.
So, I've mentioned this before, but if they don't want to go find it, it's fine. So,
Yes.
Century Media. I had a podcast with my friends, which I love dearly, which I haven't talked to those friends in a while. That's okay. Well, I talked to one of them recently, but had a podcast with, I have to think, it was with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of my friends. And originally it was just us girls from Century Media. But then I'm gonna call him out by name because it's easier that way. But then Matt decided he was going to join in. Originally it was me, and then no, it originally started, I wasn't even on the podcast.
Oh.
No. So it was 2 girls that I was friends with. Which I was originally only friends with one of them and became friends with the other one later on. They had asked me to come on the podcast one time. And so I came on. And then they asked me to come on again the next time. And I was like, yeah, sure. That'll be fun. That'll be great times. And then they just asked me to join the podcast. And I was like, frick yeah, let's go. And then 2 of our other friends decided to just randomly drop in at points in time after their
Mhm.
classes. So they became regulars after that. And then Matt decided, hey, yo, I'm gonna crash your podcast. Which he became a regular. It was fine. So me and him had the same class. We had a reading and writing class because we recorded on a Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
We would have class and record the podcast immediately after. So we had to walk across campus.
Yes.
It would, it takes 5 minutes to walk across that campus.
Mm-hmm.
From that building specifically to the other one.
Mm-hmm.
And to get to the Century Media Room. It took Matt half an hour to get from the classroom to the recording booth.
Great.
And there's a reason for this. It's because he would leave class,
Mm-hmm.
go to his car
Mm.
that was on the other side of campus,
Mm-hmm.
get high or drunk,
Great.
or both, and then he would come record.
Great.
And sometimes we would wait for him, and sometimes we'd be like, nah, he'll show up when he shows up.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So it was, it's totally fine because we never knew what kind of mood he would be in. And there was one time where we were talking about people we knew from the past,
Mm-hmm.
and somehow people named Matt came up. And I was like, people named Matt are assholes. Like, all of the time. Like, everyone that I know named Matt is an asshole. Not thinking that a Matt was sitting directly next to me, because I completely forgot Matt was there. And he goes, excuse me? Katie, what? And I was like,
Oh, no.
oh, sup, Matt? Like,
Oh, no.
what's going on? I was like, not you, Matt. You're fine, I guess.
Good. Good.
Yeah, and then I had not that phone. I had like an Android phone that was very dumb. And I had a pop socket that would just like stick to it. Not like one of the ones that would like actually stick to it, but I had a pig pop socket, like a blue one. I don't know if anyone knows what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I remember.
That would like stick to it, like suction cup to it. And it could very easily come off.
Mm-hmm.
And during the podcast, I would just lay it on the table. Just in between me and Matt. Or sometimes one of the girls would sit next to me and Matt would sit next to her. What did I just say? She would sit next to me, Matt would sit... Yeah, that's correct.
Yes.
Sometimes words confuse me. But the phone would be there and the pig pop socket would be sitting, like, on my phone. And Matt had taken to seeing the pop socket during the podcast.
Great.
Would lean over to my phone, take the pop socket off my phone, and stick it to his forehead.
Good. I support that. I love that for him.
And there was also times just in the Century Media Room he would do it, and I'd be like, Matt, why? Why?
Good.
That podcast would very often get crashed by whoever was walking by, though. It was very chaotic and very fun.
God, speaking of this is going back to Mansfield, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
2 people that I went there with just both posted stuff on Facebook, and the posts are back to back.
Oh.
It's okay though, because I actually liked those 2, so it's fine. I'm happy for both of them because they both just either got good news or started something new for schooling. So I'm happy for both of them. You might know the one, actually. I'm just gonna show you real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm happy for both of them. You know, good for them.
But anyways, yeah. That podcast started my love for recording and podcasts and stuff. So without that, this would not be here.
Indeed. Now here we are.
Yeah.
Ow. Almost a year later.
Mm-hmm.
Still going. Still trucking.
Still doing it.
And Sean's having a good time. Are you playing solitaire again?
Yeah.
Good.
I have another story. A more sad story. Do you have another story? I don't know.
See, I've blocked a lot of it out of my memory.
Okay. Well, I have another story
Okay.
from my sophomore year. So...
Great.
So for the people that don't know, I dropped out of college my sophomore year, about a month in.
Thank you, Sean.
About a month in, I dropped out. Because my mental health was not good.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very not good. For people that don't know, I had severe depression. I went to my freshman year. I went to school immediately after my father had passed away. So that was not good. So throughout that year, it was already not good. And then when I went back, super not good. But I went back because I was just like, no, I'm gonna do this. It'll be fine. I'll be fine. It was not fine.
No.
So it was I had texted my mom month into school. It was gonna be a weekend. And I was like, I remember sitting at I was in a dorm. It was an apartment not an apartment, but it was a dorm with 4 dorms inside of it. So we had a shared living space.
Mm-hmm.
So it was with all of my girlfriends, you know? And I remember sitting at my desk because my roommate was at classes and just turning off my phone and sobbing.
Oh.
Like, it was not good. So I remember texting my mom and being like, I need to come home. Like, I'm gonna come home or, like, die. Like, that's what's gonna happen, Mom. And she was just like, huh? What's going on? Like, just go see a counselor. And I was like, no, you don't understand. Like, you do not fully comprehend what's going on right now. Because, like, I had been texting her throughout the week what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey, not doing great right now. Like, she's like, okay. Because I had just gone home that previous weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, you can be okay? And I was like, I'll be fine. And then I was like, I'm fine at all.
Yeah.
So, like, throughout the week, like, Monday, I did not text her. Tuesday, I was like, hey, I'm not good. And she's like, no. She's like, can you make it until, like, what was it? I was supposed to come home, like, 2 weeks later. She's like, can you make it 2 weeks? And I was like, I don't know, I'll try. And then it got to the weekend, I was like, no, I'm gonna kill myself. And she's like, that's not appropriate. And I was like, sorry. Like,
I'm sorry for laughing, but I love the way you, like, explain stories. Like, just, like, I'm depressed. No. Like, it's just the delivery. It's so good.
So, I was just like, either you come get me or something gonna happen. So, none of my roommates were home at that point in time. So I had texted all of them in our group chat being like, hey, house meeting later. Thanks. And Dee, which was one of my roommates, which was one of my friends for the podcast, she already knew what was coming because I had left the semester earlier, a couple weeks early,
Mm-hmm.
or about a month early, because of medical reasons. There's always something with me. So I had texted her my second semester, my freshman year, that I needed to see her, and she was just like, okay. And then I had told her that I was leaving early, and she was like, okay, I'll see you next semester. And I was like, yeah, see you next semester. And then when I had texted the group chat saying, yo, house meeting, she already knew it was coming and was sobbing apparently all day.
Mm.
And my other friend that I did the podcast with was with her all day, and when I saw her at night for the house meeting, she was just like, she's been crying all day. Can you give her a hug or something? And I was just like, yeah, I'll give her a hug. Like, I'm sorry you've been crying. I didn't mean to make you cry. Like, and so I had told them that I was leaving. I was just like, yo, either I leave or I'm, like, actually out. Like, and so they were like, okay, just get better. Like, just, we want the best for you. And I was like, oh, you guys are sweet. Thanks. Like, my one friend had shown up with them. She didn't live there. She lived off campus, but she had shown up with them. She was also on the podcast. And she was like, why don't you just, like, go to a counselor? And I was just like, no. I don't think you quite comprehend what's going on here. And she was like, okay, that's fine. Love you. And I was like, thanks. But that night, we had a ceremony for the collegiate journaling. I can't think of the last word. Anyways, only a few people get in each year. And I was in it the last year, so I didn't technically have to go to the ceremony, but I still wanted to go to say goodbye to everyone. So I went because Gage was being inducted that year, and I was just like, okay, I'll go so I can, like, see him off. I don't know. So he can see me off. I don't know. So I went, and I was originally just going to say goodbye at the ceremony. And then I was just like, hey, can I talk to you after the ceremony? And he's like, yeah, because I was just going to go to dinner with him. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. I don't want to take a second. And he was like, okay, cool. So I pulled him out into the hallway, and he was just like, fine, what's up? And I was like, hey, I'm leaving. And he was like, huh? No. No. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm leaving. And he was just like, what do you mean you're leaving? And I was like,
well, you see.
Either I leave
or I leave.
Like, I don't know. And he was like, okay, give me 1 second, stay right there. And he had gone back inside to it was mostly Central Media people that were inducted, back inside to the group of people he was supposed to have dinner with, and he was just like, hey, I'm not going to dinner. And came back out to me, and he was just like, hey, let's go take a walk. And I was just like, you didn't have to do that. Like, you could have just gone to dinner. I would have been fine. And, like, I had already been, like, packing all day, so all of my stuff was mostly packed. And so he walked me back to my dorm, like, talking the whole time, and I was like, yeah, it was either I leave or I'm jumping off the roof. Like, that's gonna happen. And he was just like, Katie, that was not the thing to do. And I was just like, well, you know, I didn't want to bother anybody. He's like, you could have talked to me. And I was like, no.
I feel you.
You have your own friends. And he was like, I am your friend. And I was like, yeah, but no. No, it's fine. And he was like, oh, you want to go back to my dorm? We can, like, chill. And I was like, well, no, I still have to, like, finish packing. And he's like, you mean you're leaving, like, now? And I was like, no, in the morning. And he was like, what? And I was just like, yeah. When I said I'm leaving, I mean I'm leaving. And he was just like, okay. So he, like, I invite him back into, like, the dorm, and we sit and just chat for a couple hours, and he's like, okay, alright, why? And literally, he did not want to leave the dorm.
Aww.
And I felt so bad. Because I had my door just left open, because my roommate hadn't been home all day, and so just my entire side was empty, and her side was full.
Aww.
And it was so sad to see. And, like, where we were sitting in the living room, you could see into, like, my room, and he just kept looking into my room, and I was just like,
aww.
And it was so sad. I was crying, he was crying.
Aww.
My roommates had left at that point, because they were like, nope, can't do this. Like, they were just, like, not doing this, because they didn't want to, like, say goodbye to me again. And so, it got to the point where, like, I was just like, you should probably go home. It's like 11 o'clock. Like, you should probably go back to your dorm. Because on campus, there's a
Curfew?
Yeah, curfew. And you have to be back at your dorm.
That's weird.
Otherwise, like, you're gonna get yelled at or some shit.
Well, he was at a dorm.
He was at a dorm, but not his. And,
Hey, one person's leaving. There's no spot.
yeah, but the thing is, I lived with an RA.
Oh,
that point-
never mind then.
Yeah. So, if she just walked in and saw
man.
a random man in our dorm, probably would not have been the best.
No.
I'm sure they would have understood it.
I'm sure she would have, yeah. Yeah, he went to the door and just, like, kept saying goodbye and, like,
Aww.
hugging me, and I was just like, you're making this real hard, man. You're making this real hard.
Aww.
And I felt that was the worst part about leaving, was saying goodbye to Gage.
It's like, I can't even say that because I don't know if people have watched Criminal Minds.
Do it, spoil it.
So it's like Reed saying goodbye to Morgan.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. It was
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah.
I want to end my section on a happy note, I guess.
Okay.
While we've been talking, I may have looked up master's degree in education, which this is not news to anyone that knows me in real life, but since I graduated in December, I've been thinking about getting my master's, and I was going to go for a master's in writing. I'm thinking about going for education. And if anything from Mansfield has taught me, like if Mansfield has taught me anything, it's that we need more kind and accepting teachers, professors, everything in the world. And that's one of the reasons I want to go.
Mhm.
That's the whole reason I went to Mansfield in the first place, was because I wanted to be a music teacher. Like, that was the whole reason I went. And, like, yes, I have tattoos. But my mom told me that one of our family friends' kids, she's a principal at a school, and, like, some of her teachers have, like, full, like, sleeves going on. So
It's more accepted nowadays.
yeah, especially in a more, like, progressive, I guess, area. I'll probably be fine. Especially since they're not inappropriate. They are appropriate, they're not inappropriate. I don't know. That was the whole reason I started in the first place, was because I wanted to be a role model for kids. I wanted them to be, like, talking to their friends, like, 10 years down the line and be like, man, do you remember her? She was a cool teacher. Because that's what I do now with our high school teachers. Like, I've talked about her before, but I talk up one of my middle school teachers, like, all the time, because she's my favorite. And I still see her, like, out and about sometimes, and every time I stop, we talk for, like, 20 minutes, unless one of us is in a hurry. Like, I don't know. A lot of teachers have made a huge impact on my life, and, like, they're being kind of disregarded right now because of people that are like, nah, you know? Are you good, Sean?
Only my high school teachers were the ones that, like, made the biggest impact.
I had a
Senior
couple.
year.
I had a couple when I was younger. Specifically 2 that I can think of. And I don't know. I want to be that impact on a kid's life. I don't want them to go through the experiences I had, you know? Like, I want them... Are you good over there? Sean's having a moment right now. Oh, excuse me.
I think... I can't tell. I think.
Yeah?
Did you leave the washer on at home?
No. No, I used to have... In 3rd grade, maybe it was 4th grade, I had a teacher. And she was just my regular teacher, like my everyday, like, 4th grade teacher or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But she was like one of the best teachers I'd ever had.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't remember her name, but now that I'm thinking about it, that teacher looked a lot like Miss McCartney looked.
That's
I
gonna have
don't
to be
know.
silenced. I'm putting it down so that way I'm gonna
Yeah.
message it right to you.
But she did look a lot like her. I don't know if it was the same person, but
Okay, I messaged it to you
Okay.
so that way we can bleep out her name.
Making me do extra work.
Good.
um,
podcast. It's your podcast.
but I don't know. Like, I've had some teaching videos because back to school is starting. I've had some teaching videos pop up on my TikTok For You page, and I see them and I'm like, oh, I want to do that so bad. I can. I literally can. Like, even if I don't like teaching and I only do it for a couple years, you know, like, one, at least I have my master's, and two, hopefully I made an impact on a kid's life somewhere down the line, you know? I don't know. That's why I want to. That's why I want to do a lot of the things I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to help kids who might have been in a similar boat to me. And shout out to my 4th grade teacher and my middle school teacher. My 4th grade teacher doesn't remember me when she comes into my workplace, but that's okay. It's probably because, you know, I'm older now. She hasn't seen me in like 10 years probably at this point, so.
People come into my workplaces and they're like, Katie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know who you are.
Like, she hasn't seen me in forever, and.
Honestly. People do that to me, and I'm just like,
I don't know.
I don't know you.
Literally, everyone's just like, oh my god, how have you been? And I'm like,
Who the hell are you?
I was like, who?
like what?
I don't know who you is.
But I went and like walked around to see all my former teachers my senior year, and she was not there anymore. So I didn't get to see her then, so she doesn't know what I look like now. And so I know she's doing good because she comes into my work all the time, and one of these times I'm gonna get the courage to be like, hey, do you remember me? Like, we had a little bonding moment, which we did, because you helped me get through some stuff when I was like 10. Like, thank you. Thank you for inspiring me. So yeah, that's my long spiel to end my sadness train that I went on about my old college. My new college was great. But yeah. Oh, and I would also like to shout out my favorite professor who I think I did this when this actually happened, but he unfortunately passed away over the summer, which, shout out to him. He was my favorite. I actually started liking philosophy because of him, and like being really interested in it. And he was super cool, and he was the most understanding about my knee surgery, so.
Gotta believe that. Might give something away.
What?
Philosophy teacher that died might give something away.
How could you not like philosophy before?
I don't know, I guess I just didn't really like process. Because I didn't know where to start, I guess.
Okay, philosophy is so cool.
Yeah. I don't have to bleep
Depends
it.
on what type of philosophy.
No, he was joking.
I know. Well, and it's in my it's in my Instagram bio anyway, so I'm pretty sure you can deduce it.
Listen, if anyone follows us anywhere, they're going to find out.
Where we went to school with, like,
It don't matter.
It's mainly just
You know
for the
what?
randos.
You know what really ticked me off though?
What?
I got my high school yearbook,
Okay.
and like half of my teachers and shit weren't in it.
Oh, that's so dumb.
So it's just, and it's mostly because a lot of those teachers are just like, fuck this school, we out. Because they hate the principal.
Okay,
Yeah, that's fair.
Which is fair. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fair.
Which is fair. Yeah.
Like literally,
Fuck the principal.
just no chill. In the classroom during the school day, they'll literally just walk out of their classroom, go to another classroom with another teacher, just be like, so when are we going golfing? Because I need a break.
Yeah.
'cause
Oh,
I
that happened when
fucking-
we were in school.
I fucking hate this principal. Like,
that
literally-
happened when we were in school.
Have you ever told that story? Sorry.
You're
I
good.
didn't mean. My brain just processes things differently. Sorry. I gotta say it, otherwise it's gone. Did you ever tell that story of when you slapped Ryan?
Oh, when I punched Ryan in the face?
Yeah. it needs to be told if it has not.
I can't remember. Was your thought done before I give my story?
It can be.
Up to you.
Sure.
Playing golf.
Oh, dude. So many times.
In a class I shared with our former friend, he was being very, very annoying. In my opinion, he was being annoying.
Many people in my school.
And he would just do this thing every day. Like, even though we were friends, he took it too far a lot of the time. And, like, in book club, in school, everything.
You also slapped him in book club.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. I
Yeah.
did hit him during book club. That was literally the day before I punched him in school.
Oh, good.
That was literally the day before. I forgot about that.
Wasn't that the night he was going on and on about how there was only 2 genders?
I don't remember.
I think that was the night.
It probably
that
was.
It was.
Marie was ready to kill him.
Yeah.
And listen, like, you, as long as you don't hate me or my friends or whoever, honestly, for existing, you can have differing opinions from me, because he definitely had different political views from us.
Mhm.
However, when you get to the point of annoying me on purpose because you know it's just gonna make me mad, that's not cool. So I punched him in the face
See,
while the teacher was not in the classroom.
They still talk about that.
I know. And said teacher, when he came in, one of the kids that was in your grade, because it was juniors and seniors, went, Hannah just punched him in the face. And the teacher went, I missed it?
Nobody liked him except for me.
Listen, I liked him besides that year. I don't know, well, I know what it was, but he was just so, like, in everyone's face that year.
Yeah.
Did not matter who you were, and I just got sick of it.
that one girl
And I just,
that I want to kill. That one girl. You know.
Yeah.
I also, when I punched him in the face in class, one of his lenses popped out of his glasses. It went back in, so it didn't actually break. But, honestly, he didn't report me or anything. So, I don't know if he just realized, oh, Hannah got sick of my shit, and she will back up, like, there is bark to her bite, like, or bite, whatever the saying is. Is that it?
Wait.
All bark but no bite. So there is bite to my bark. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did it. And that's why whenever people are like, no, you wouldn't actually hit me, I'm like, try me. Fucking try me. Like, I will punch you right now.
I don't
Like,
think I would. Would I? I don't know.
I'm a weird little mix of pacifist
Yeah.
and also I am ready to throw hands with everyone. Like, I'm both. Is that possible? No, but I am.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I feel like if I got angry enough, maybe.
Have you seen Rafiki?
But I feel like I would just cry. Like, I'm such an emotional person.
Customers yell at me at work, and then I start having a panic attack. But the one day we had to break up that fight, I was ready. Like, that dude was honestly gonna swing at me. Like, I knew it was coming, so I was ready. And I,
It's all
like,
based on what's happening at the moment.
No, I'll cry.
yeah, for
'Cause
me it
If
is.
somebody's yelling,
I'll cry.
there's nothing you can do about that. It's words. But if somebody's gonna fight,
I'll cry.
you can punch back.
No, I'll cry.
You
Yeah.
can punch back.
Well, we had a fight in my workplace. I think I mentioned it on the podcast. And Dustin and I were like, and him and I were the two, oh no, there was one person working that's older than me by like 6 months. But regardless, we were in the top half of people that were the oldest working there. And him and I are around the corner, and we're just yelling at this dude, and I was ready. I was ready to throw hands with him. Because, like, I could tell, like, he was getting in my face, he was getting ready to yell at me, like, and scream at me again, and I knew he was gonna throw a punch. He was not scared to, and I was ready. I was like, I'm 5'4", that means I'm close to hell, which means I'm angrier. So, I'm ready to go. Luckily, it didn't come to that.
Well, that's good.
He honestly probably would have kicked my ass, but I would have gone down with a fight. I think it was also just my instinct kicking in of, like, because everyone else that was working at the time was, like, a minor. So I was like, all right, we're doing this. Like, you're not hurting any of them. We're going down right now, buddy. I think it just kind of kicked in.
Yeah. That happens.
Yeah. Do you have any final thoughts on the school episode?
We got the question of the day.
Oh, true.
High schoolers are annoying. It's so true.
Okay. At the end of the day, who will be there for me?
For me?
That's the question.
For you?
You answer for you.
Oh.
I mean, you can try and
quite a
answer for
few-
Hannah, but like
Quite
Well,
a
no,
few
you said
people.
who will be there for...
for me. It's the question. So you answer for you, she answers for her, and I'll answer for me.
Quite a few people, honestly.
I don't know.
Like, if you would have asked me this, like, 3 years ago, I would have given you, like, 2 names. But now I'm glad that I can confidently say there are at least 5.
Who will be there for me?
Hey.
You and Dustin. Sean.
I could see, like, a vague offended look because he was like, are you gonna mention me?
I know Gage would be there if I texted him.
Jaden and Alex. They'll be there for you. You know that.
Yeah, I just don't text them.
Yeah.
Bubby, my dog.
Aw.
I love my dog. Bailey. I would like to say she'll be there for me. I don't know.
Oh my god. I'm putting her on blast right now.
I don't know. She hasn't texted me. Text
Aw.
me. She doesn't watch this shit. She might. She'll listen to this and be like, Katie, what the fuck?
Yeah, I can see that happening.
She'll listen to this and then call me and she'll be like, Katie, you'll know I'll be there for you. The fuck you talking about? Kalika? Most days.
Again, your delivery. Fantastic.
I think that's it. Forgot all the friends.
You've always got my mom.
I mean,
No.
You know Tammy's
Uh-huh.
got your back.
Tammy would fight.
She would. Marie.
Oh yeah, shit, Marie! Fuck, Marie, I love you! Marie would do anything.
She really would. She really would.
Marie should have been at the top of this goddamn list. I'm sorry, Marie. I apologize.
This is why I'm not naming people, because I know that I said at least 5 as a joke. There's definitely at least like 10.
No, I gotta call those people out. They need to know.
What about you, Sean?
God, man.
I thought you were
Damn.
about to say God. I was like,
God.
okay. I was like, okay.
God's
Yeah.
here for me.
No. No, I don't got many.
Damn.
Damn. This sucks. Like, I'm saying this just to continue with the joke. That sounds like a personal problem. Fuck. I don't actually mean that. It's just part of the joke. I promise.
Am I on that list somewhere?
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Sweet. I'm glad.
What? Like,
Hannah hates you, but she's here.
I don't hate you.
Oh, they don't know about that running joke. Shit.
I don't hate Sean.
got like 3 or 4. Got Scooby and then you two. That's it.
Dustin, probably.
I really thought you said scoops. Like S-scoops.
Fucking S-Coops.
S-scoops is there for
He's
you,
fucking
Sean.
there for you, Sean. Fucking S-Coops, my guy. You call him up, he's there.
If Scoops was there for me, I wouldn't have trouble in life.
I wish S-Coops was there for you, man.
I wish my Mark Lee was there for me.
Fuck.
I would not be having problems right now.
Fucking Scoops. I really thought you said Scoops. I was like, shit, really? I was like, when did this happen?
He's got it on fucking speed dial.
God, I wish.
He's got a few just scoops. Imagine that flex. I've got a few. Katie, Hannah, Dustin, scoops.
Mark Lee, hello.
That fucking flex, you had nobody but scoops. Fuck.
Scoops is from 17. For anyone that doesn't know, Scoops is from 17.
Oh.
Jumquan? What was it earlier?
Quick water.
Scum Squad.
Skun Squad! Instead of Sunquan. Oh, that poor man.
For context, I was having Hannah and Sean name the 17 members with a photo that I gave them.
It did not go well. Spoiler alert.
And,
For me, anyway.
Sean was able to name most of them, but he got to Sun Quan and just went, "Who's that man? Squan Quan?"
No, I was just like, oh, I know that man, and I went to say Hoshi, and I realized that's not right because I had already named him, and then my brain just went, no, and then just stopped midway, and then tried to rephrase it into something else, and it just came out, Sun Squan.
You tried saying S-Coops, too. I heard you S-Scoop, and then you were like, no, never mind.
Squan Squan.
Squan Squan.
I had Katie try to guess the names of the Luna members, and naturally we had to have a Mark Lee in there.
Fucking Mark Lee.
He's everywhere and nowhere all at once.
Me.
He's behind you right now.
He is the AC.
He's hiding in my air conditioner.
Hey, what up?
He's hiding in my dryer. You know. He might be in the fridge right now. I don't know.
Just a picture of Mark Lee.
I'm gonna start printing pictures of Mark Lee to just hide so that way you can find them.
I just come over to your apartment, I'm like, what the fuck is this?
He's gonna be on the door.
You just take all the G Fuel out and just put one like tiny little
Mark Lee back there.
Just one tiny like Mark Lee cutout just right back there.
I love how no matter what the episode is, it always comes back to fucking Mark Lee. This poor man. God.
I hope we become famous just so Mark Lee will fucking listen to one of these episodes. I don't care which one.
I hope people just start hashtag Mark Lee.
Hashtag Mark Lee. Fuck.
Oh, Mark Lee. What a guy. I don't even listen to NCT. Like, that really makes it worse. I don't fucking listen to him.
Oh my god.
I just be saying shit.
You listen to Kick It.
That's true.
Fucking Kick It. I hate that song so much.
It's not a terrible song. It's not a great
It's
song.
just like dropping.
Because
Get outta
if we
here.
jumping, it's popping, we
We
dropping.
Alright, anyway.
Anyway, okay, now that the episode took a drastic nosedive.
Anyways, we learned that Scoops will always be here for Sean.
Yep. I have
sure.
PTSD from 2018.
And I miss my friends. I don't know.
Yeah.
I had some
Ours.
good memories from college. Had some bad ones,
Oh,
but had
same.
some good ones.
Same.
Just started it.
I hope your experience is a lot better
Yeah.
Why?
then.
Because y'all sounded terrible.
Oh, mine was awful. Well,
Mine was better than
my
hers.
first semester was awful.
I didn't die. I threatened to, but I didn't.
I almost died once. That was a bad year. That was a real bad year. That's the other reason I have PTSD.
Enjoy your criminal justice.
Yeah. Do you have
good,
homework?
Do some good in the
A
world.
little bit, yeah.
Oh. That always sucks. Like, first day you get the syllabus and you're like, well, shit, I have homework due next class. That's the worst.
Well, it's not next class. It's this week.
Oh.
So.
Well, that's not as bad then. It still sucks, but it's not as bad.
Yeah. It's
Excuse
due,
me.
like every other Sunday,
Oh.
and
Do you have to do discussion boards?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't like discussion boards.
I also have to. I have English comp, so I just have to write essays. And stuff.
Comp isn't terrible.
It doesn't seem bad, but
I shouldn't say that. I'm a writing major.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
I
really
was
shouldn't.
a writing major.
Alright, that's...
That's
we need
it.
a shout out.
Little,
Japan. Because my roommate
Yeah.
was from there.
oh,
I don't remember from which town, but she was from Japan.
I was gonna say Little Dobby.
No.
Little Dobby.
I hope
Great.
my old roommate is doing well in life.
Have you seen a picture of Little Dobby?
She was great.
I want to give a shout
I
out.
thought you were going to backhand me for a second.
No,
Yeah.
no,
I
just
thought you were
remembered-
about to go into a panic attack.
No, I just remembered something.
Uh-huh.
I would like to give a shout out to Poot Lovato. Do you remember Poot? Do you remember that?
No.
Mm,
Oh! My god, yes I do.
yeah, Poot Lovato.
Shout out to Scoops.
Yeah, shout out to Scoops. This is Poot. It's just a really bad picture of Demi Lovato.
Oh my god.
Anyways, yes, shout out to my old roommate. I'm not going to say your name, but you're great. You won't listen to this. I know you won't. And Scoops and Poot Lovato, apparently.
It's related to school, I promise, but it has to be a personal story because I can't say it on the podcast.
And Japan.
Yep.
That's it. Have
Have
day.
day. Thank you for kind of being on the episode.
Thank you for being just here.
Yeah, playing
I
solitaire.
played Solitaire.
Have day. We will see you in the next one.
Have great.
Great. That was. Oh shit.